Hello there my fellow sim racers, I am the Sim Rig Racer and welcome to today's video. And well, what else was I going to do? We had to have a battle of the Sims. We had to go head to head as soon as iRacing released their 2021 Brazilian Stock Car content. I just had to see how it compared to the stock car content in Automobilista 2. So that's exactly what I did. I took the Toyota out around the Interlagos circuit and I compared the two. What do they sound like? What do they feel like? What do they look like? And guess what? I even managed to pick a winner. So come and join me after the intro and let's get on the track. Okay, here we go. You join me on track here. We're going to try out the iRacing version of the Toyota 2021 Brazilian Stock Car because it's the newest. We're just going to do an out lap, quick lap, and a cool down lap, and we're going to take a look at how it sounds, how it feels, and how it looks. Let's start off with how it sounds, shall we? Oh, now that's a V8. Ooh. That sounds a bit rough and ready, doesn't it? Let's take her out. Of course, we are at Interlagos, the circuit that's shared across both iRacing and Automobilista 2. To try and even out as many variables as possible, but you know, it is what it is. Oh, listen to those downshifts. You can hear the barbling, the popping back through the exhaust as you snap the throttle shut, and the exhaust burns that excess fuel. Oh. Right up there on the rev limiter. iRacing have come such a long way with their sounds. They really are. They got a like a meatiness to them. It's hard to describe, but there's a bit more punch to them now, you know. Right, let's see how it feels, shall we? You know, this is a big old four-door saloon. It's a big weighty car. Oh, no ABS, no traction control. Oh, and you can feel the weight. I can feel the steering wheel loading up. The force feedback is really telling me what the car is doing. Oh, it takes a good old whack on the brake pedal there to scrub the speed off. You can feel the car squirming around under the heavy braking as you try and brake and change direction. Oh, you feel all that power. Oh, you know it's there. It's a big, heavy car. It wants to break away. There's more power than grip. But compare it to a Aussie V8 supercar. Oh, it's a lot more balanced. It's a lot more controllable. It's not so snappy. It's more of a natural progression, a feel. Come on, let's do another lap. Oh. Oh. Right on the edge there of locking up. You're trying to chuck it in, balancing the car on the steering. Your inputs matter. What you do with the pedals, the steering wheel matters. I can feel those different types of curves through the force feedback through my wheel. I can feel the steering wheel load up and then go light as I start to go beyond the level of adhesion. Under braking, I can feel the car trying to break away. I can feel a little bit of snap through the wheel when the rear wants to go. There's so much more time to be found, but I've only got a couple of laps. I just want to get initial impression and an initial feel. Now, I've got an AccuForce direct drive wheel, and I use the Sim Commander 4 software. Default settings, haven't made any changes. All I've done is wound the brake bias back a little bit. So it's a default setup. But the level of detail, the level of feel I'm getting through the wheel. I know what the car's doing, why it's doing it. That's the important thing. And I know what to do to keep the car on the limit. Were brilliant. And look at the level of detail in the cockpit here. Look at all the switch gear. That big slab-like dashboard. You know, no pretense at it being a road model. These are V8 tubular frame silhouettes with either a Toyota or a Chevrolet body plonked on top. But they're a bit like, you know, they're a bit like the V8 supercars. They're, you know, basically the same underneath. But yeah, it looks fantastic. All the details are there. The cabs, the cockpit. As I say, you can see the input from Tony Kanaan, who drives these cars in the real life series, who is, you know, a sim racer and a real life racer that has driven everything and anything at the highest level. His input has really helped raise the bar, as iRacing always do. Every time they bring new content out, it's always just, oh, I really like this. I can't wait to try out the boost button, which is, you know, that's more of a tactical thing, really. That's what you're going to use in races to defend or attack. It looks great. Sounds fantastic. And the driving sensation through the force feedback and tyre model. Really enjoyed that. And I can't wait to start exploring the limits to find out what it's like on the absolute edge. I can see it's going to be a real workout. Okay, let's move on to Automobilista 2 and let's see what the guys over at Reza Studios can do. So here we are. We are now in Automobilista 2. Once again, we are at Interlagos of an afternoon in the 2021 Brazilian Toyota Stock Car. We're on the in the pits, get ready to go. So, same again. We're going to have what it feels like, sounds like, and looks like. Let's fire her up. We got the pot back in the marbling, but it's not quite got that dirty V8 noise to it, but let's see what it's like out on track. Let's get out of this pit building. Ooh, that sounds a bit better, doesn't it? That okay, let's get out on track. Oh, that's a nice satisfying clunk there for that gear change. Again, it's it does sound better once you get it out on track. Did you hear that as we're going over the bumps and ripples there? Did you hear that drivetrain wobble? That's... Now the engine note in the iRacing one was better, felt more raw. The engine note is more subdued, but I love that, the transmission wobble. And I like that low level bubble as you're coming off the throttle. The sounds around the engine are a lot better in this sim, but the actual engine sound is better in iRacing. Right, what's it like flat out? Oh yeah, cold tyres there. Right, here we go. What does it feel like? Ooh, a little bit of a lock there. A little bit too much initial pressure. It definitely feels like there's more movement. Feels more a little bit more alive, you know. The track surface seems to be affecting the car more. I can definitely feel that coming through the wheel more. You know, these are big cars. They're a little on the soft side, I expect. Oh, there's all that power. But again, it came through the wheel. I felt it. I knew what the car was doing and why. Oh, it's definitely harder to hold on to. It's more understeer in this default setup than there is with the iRacing one. definitely think this is a nicer version of Interlagos. They've got more of those ripples and undulations that this circuit is famous for, because it's built on a bog, so it's always moving. But it's like the default camera has got more movement to it. It definitely feels... Do you know what? I really like the way the iRacing one felt, the force feedback, but it's got all of that, but it feels like there's more interaction between the car and the track surface. Now, I don't know if this is laser scanned or not. We all know the tracks in iRacing are. So this could be a little bit overly bumpy, but it just... You know, anybody who follows motorsport knows that the Interlagos circuit quite often has to be resurfaced in areas because ripples and undulations form where it's moving, and this feels like to me, a better representation of it, and the car really works with it. Come on then, we're gonna have to do another lap. Feel like the iRacing one was really satisfying, but this one, oh. This one feels a bit more scary almost. It's still more predictable than an Aussie Super V8 would be. It's still not snappy, but it's definitely more car. There's more body roll, there's more movement in this AMS2 version than there was with the iRacing one. Man, this is quite a workout through my direct drive wheel. Which do I prefer? That's the thing, isn't it? Oh, well, that's my couple of flying laps. Let's take a moment to just appreciate the visuals. Love the circuit. And I think the car model is good. No ifs, no buts, because we all know Automobilista 2, based on the Madness engine, looks fantastic. Runs on anything. But, I don't know, it just... They've got that carbon fibre slab of a dash. They've got the switch gear up above your head, but... I don't know. I don't know which one is more realistic, but I just prefer the look of the iRacing model. I just thought, you know, the box above your head, it was more pronounced, it felt more 3D, I know, but I just felt that even though there's very little detail, I just think what they have done feels a little bit more believable, more tactile. So I think I prefer the look of everything outside in AMS2, but I prefer the cockpit of iRacing. Right, let's bring her back into the pits. It's quite a tricky one, this, you know. They've got different ways of doing it. You know, the cockpit is more static in iRacing, which I think might make it feel a little bit more stable. It's hard to tell. Well, I'm gonna have a think about it. Gonna chew it over and come out with the one that I think I prefer, although it's going to be close. I'll see you after the transition. Okay, here we go. Somehow I'm going to pick a winner, but it is close. They are both fantastic. Each excels in a slightly different way, but you know, as an overall package, I think the iRacing version just pips the AMS2 version to the winner's post. You know, iRacing looked better from inside the cockpit. AMS2 looks better from outside the cockpit, the whole environment. You know, the iRacing had the barbel and the pop and the more rawness of a V8. Yet the AMS2 version had that nice, you know, the wobble from the transmission and a little bit more noise from the track surface. So, you know, it's what you're looking for when you're racing. As from a handling and physics wise, they both felt big, weighty. You could feel the, you know, the horsepower from the V8, and you knew from understeer, oversteer, what, why, how, because it was all coming through the physics model via the force feedback. So no complaints there. But I just felt the iRacing model was a little more predictable, a little less snappy, but it's very minute differences. That'll probably come down to your hardware. I got an AccuForce direct drive wheel, so which is very quick to respond. But I just thought that the overall package, when you sat in the car, I think the iRacing version is just that little bit better, a little bit more realistic to me. You know, and I think I'd probably race it more, primarily because of iRacing's online aspect. You know, it's fun to jump into Automobilista 2. Great AI races, you can race whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want. But I miss that competitive aspect of racing online, and that is exactly what iRacing gives you 24/7. So for me, I'm going to go with the iRacing version. But you know, you won't be disappointed. They're both good. They're both great fun to race. It's just that I want to race it online. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for bearing with me. Let me know in the comments. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Have you tried any of them out? Let me know in the comments your thoughts and your views. And don't forget, check out some of my other ones, other sim racing videos. Coming up will be a lap of Road America in VR on Automobilista 2, alongside a all fully immersive lap of Alton Park in a Porsche Cup car. So why not give them a click, give them an enjoy, and I'll see you out on track. Bye bye.